too long. I have to edit a video, which I'm not really going to edit too much because I don't want to stress myself out. But I will say that I actually have been editing reels and short form content, which is amazing for me because I hate it. I hate it so much. So I'm just trying to do stuff that will, be sustainable and make me feel good about, like just quick little snippets. Like I do everything really long, take a really long time with everything. So, just being able to do it at all is definitely a win in my book. So, yeah. Today I am disassembling a 3DS in order to swap the D-pad silicone, which is the only good thing about this 3DS. Well, only thing that actually works. I'm gonna swap it to another 3DS that it's the only thing that isn't good about it. Like everything else works. So, and I'm also just gonna clean up the internals too. So, I have been watching a lot of Bloodborne lore and just basically hearing people talk about the game, and I have tried the game. I've been playing it a little bit, but I haven't played in a couple days. I've been tired. All I've been playing is Fantasy Life the girl, sometime. I don't know. It don't really matter. I really have been enjoying that game way more than I thought I would. I thought I'd like it. I thought I'd love it. And then I played it and I was like, this is taking a while to get to the good stuff. And then I kept going and giving it a chance, and then goddamn, it surprised me. It really did, because I started getting hooked. It's something about living different lives and just like swapping between them and having like levels between them that makes it so fun. I really, really enjoy myself playing that game, and I can definitely see myself putting like hours and hours to just like fully like complete each life and like reach hero rank, which I think is like the point of it all, kind of like becoming the Pokemon master in a sense. You become a life master. So, I have been enjoying myself one way or another. I've been playing games I really want to play. I've also been playing Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which I've been really, really loving. And definitely, everybody needs to get on that game because it's literally an MMO now, and I don't care. Like, it's so fun. And with Movement Plus, you can just do so much. But anyways, enough about all that. I really, really want to talk about Bloodborne, and people may say I have no right to talk about Bloodborne, and that may be a lot of Souls fans out there, but I'm not trying to reach the Souls fans per se. I'm just trying to reach people who like a good story. And if you're anything like me, you love a really good story. You get invested and immersed, and you just like obsess over it. I dream of these things too. And dreaming is one thing I definitely want to talk about later in relation to Bloodborne, but basically, I love the game. I am obsessed with it. I think it's the greatest thing From Software's ever made. I think anyone has ever made, honestly. And Miyazaki, wow. That man is my god. Because every game he makes is beautiful. The lore is beautiful. Everything makes sense. And it's never perfect, but it's never about being perfect, It's never about being the greatest gaming experience. It is about being immersed in the world and wanting to become a part of it. It's an RPG. You're literally role-playing, being some dude, some guy, in a Victorian era world where things have gone to shit, so you're trying to fix it. I mean, it's amazing. It really, really is. Like, every little, like, tidbit of story that is given to you is fantastic. And, of course, as per the Souls formula, you don't have to listen to any of it. You can easily skip past it and still have a great gaming experience, because you know what? The combat is also really, really good. I really enjoy the combat, me personally. I am a big fan of JRPGs. I'm a big fan of, like, mashers. A big fan of fighting games. Anything where I get to press a lot of buttons. I love that shit. Alright, also, just to let y'all know, I'm not going crazy, dog. It's this freaking thing. This thing. This whole thing that doesn't want to come up. I was just wondering what that was. It's fine, though. I just ripped it off. It's so funny. It's this whole thing that doesn't want to come up. And I'm not necessarily sure what I can even do about it, because it just doesn't want to get out, but it's alright. I'll figure something out. Could it be because it's not flat? I'm not sure, but I'm willing to try it. I think I've done this before, though. Oh, could be. Oh my god, yes. I think that was actually what I needed. Working. Is it this? I think I might need to unscrew this real quick. Oh my goodness, see? This is so bad. This fucking screw. Honestly, I shouldn't even put it there. This one too. This one isn't even in. My god. My god. Okay. Let me just write it down, because I'm also keeping track of all the screws and stuff. Can you see? You can see writing. That's all that matters. Keeping track of all the screws. So, back to Bloodborne. I haven't fully played the game. At most, I did the Cleric Beast, and all that means is that I was able to beat it first try, which to me is, like, insane. Like, how'd I do that? But also, I'm, like, really weirdly proud of myself for that. First try, I didn't even, like, do anything special. I just did my tried and true, being patient, and then I stopped being patient, and I actually started hitting, and I was able to figure out when's the best time to hit, and so I did that, and now I'm past the cleric boss. The Cleric Beast, which is the first boss. See, this is... See what I mean? Wait, let me see. So, what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about a couple of things here. There were just certain things in my head. Basically, one thing I was thinking of was how Bloodborne is such a deep and intricate story. Anyone can grasp the meaning of it. It's like a modern day old school film. And it's really beautiful, and I think that the time and appreciation, okay, the appreciation for how long it took just isn't enough, honestly, because this game is so well thought out. There is so much depth to the whole thing. You come out here, you start off kind of doing nothing, and then you end up finishing as like the one true God, and the one true God that actually deserves it, not like basically the main antagonistic God of the whole game, being other people, and also being yourself in a sense, and last but not least, the pale blood. So really, it is a fantastic, just like, situation. It is a beautiful revelation of humanity and history and everything in between. I think Bloodborne is literally one of the greatest games to have ever been created. And I stand by it. And I literally don't care what anyone has to say. Okay, so let's see. I can at least unhook this. So I got a little something here helping me out. Okay, you know what? I literally don't even need to. Okay, hold on. I just need this. I literally just need this. Please. Please. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go! Okay, that's what I spent like an hour trying to get this little thing. So annoying, but it worked. Okay, so one theory, it's not really a theory, but if we're just diving into analysis, because I think that's what Bloodborne is ultimately all about, analysis. It's about analysis and finding out the truth for yourself and making your own conclusions from it. That's one thing I think is really, really prominent and believable and understandable in Bloodborne. It's just wanting to find out the truth of things. And at first it's really not even for you, like you don't even know why you're doing it, but then you get invested and you get hooked because you start seeing how the truth has like changed people's lives and how it affects others, and you start seeing, oh my god, like what actually went down, and you start to realize, oh, you actually can't trust anyone in this world. The only one you can trust is the doll. The one who's not even a real human being. And that is the only person that you can trust in this game. Because everyone else is untrustworthy. There are people you save that will kill each other because of their own crazy ideals. There are people in this game who will simply experiment on one another just because of morbid curiosity. There are people who will betray you. There are people who lie to you. There are people in this world that you just can't be yourself around. I think it's so beautiful because it's truly like, I think the most realistic Souls game, in the sense that in the beginning, all your monsters are people. They're just people that have gone a little crazy, but they're still human nonetheless. Even if they've gone insane, they're still human. And I think it's so beautiful because it starts you off, you're in the hunter's dream, whatever, and you're just trying to find stuff out, and you level up, and you start getting used to talking to the doll, and the doll helps you grow, literally, by leveling you up, and basically takes care of you, because without the doll, there would be no leveling up, if we just want to think about it like that, hypothetically. So, we have to be grateful for the doll. And the doll was given to us as a gift of sorts by Gehrman, which is a guy that is there. He says he's your friend trying to help you, and he is the first hunter, so he's the first one that's aiming to do the job that you're doing now, hunting beasts and killing them. And all he says in the beginning is to just like go out and hunt beasts, and that's all you need to know, and that's all you need to do. Like, it's no big deal. I think a lot of players will just like take it as it is. Gehrman seems like he's your friend, like he's on your side. But there is something very sinister at play from the get-go, considering the fact that Gehrman says this whole place is free for you to use, including the doll, if you so please. And he says it in a sort of hushed whisper, like it's something he shouldn't even be saying, but for some reason, he still feels the need to say it. So, it just makes me question a lot about the guy. And later on, you find out he is one of the people that literally made these nightmares come true. If it weren't for them, so many people wouldn't be stuck in the hunter's nightmare. So many people probably wouldn't be feeling as horrible, as horrendous, as evil as they do today because of the effects of the pale blood, because of the effects of how it has changed others, how the blood in general has just changed people, how it's changed. There's just a lot here. How it's changed people's lives, but also people's bodies. Let me get this other 3DS here. This is the one I'm trying to switch out. For me, I see a lot of comments online, and I see especially people liking Gehrman. And, you know, to each his own, we can all garner meaning from things differently. But one thing I don't understand is supporting the fellow, because he's not really trying to help you. He is stuck in this nightmare. At best, he wants to free you from the nightmare so you don't have to suffer like he has, but basically he just needs you to do the task that the pale blood moon wants. And so, out of Flora's will, because his hand is forced, he takes care of these hunters and he tries to help them so that they can fulfill the quest that Flora needs them to. Now, you can see things however you want, blah blah blah, my opinion. But if you agree with anything in this sense, I just think that Gehrman is not a good person, and I think that actually that is the point. They push you off into this world, they show you things that make no sense, and they explain nothing in the beginning, leaving you to pick up the pieces on your own, to really flesh out the narrative yourself by actively looking for information that could tell you just a sliver more of what this world is about and what things have happened and what everything entails. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's just, it had to have been on purpose. The first friend you make is a guy that just wants to use you for his own gain. Someone you can't trust. Someone that went into this nightmare just trying to escape another. And it's just, that's crazy to me, first of all. It's literally so crazy to me to think of someone like that. But that kind of person exists everywhere in this world. That kind of opportunist. The one that will seek engorgement, if you will, just to see his ultimate goal fed, you know? There's like so many little things that this game just gives to you. And I bet a lot of players, they don't even notice it. They don't. And that's why, I don't know, I just ended up watching lore videos more than I ended up playing the game. And I enjoy the game, for sure. I think the combat is awesome. It's really fun and fast-paced, which is my kind of, like, fighting action type simulator thing. I really, really enjoyed it. But it makes me question a lot of things. And I feel like you can just see how Bloodborne is about true and real life. The fact that Yharnam is so similar to London, and how people can, like, supposedly, like, find their own houses and stuff in Yharnam. I saw, like, an article about that when I was younger, like, years ago. Bloodborne came out, at least 10 years ago. And people are still talking about it today. There are still videos on YouTube going up from this year about Bloodborne, talking about it. That's how you know it's a good game. That's how you know it's an amazing story. Because it brings in people who probably wouldn't even play it because they don't play Souls games. And I was one of those people. I was too scared of Souls games. I thought all that it was the difficulty. It was all about being hard for the sake of being hard, being difficult, to just, you know, be difficult, but it's so much more than that. And I hate that game reviewers have just, like, changed my perspective on certain games in that way. I feel that it's so unhealthy to think of things as only being for one purpose or the other. And I see that now, and I understand the error of my ways, and I wish I had never judged Bloodborne like that, or just Souls games in general, because it truly is a wicked experience. The story is always so mesmerizing. It's really interesting once you get into the lore and everything. And I understand why people are going crazy for, like, lore books on Elden Ring now. Not that I've delved into, like, any Elden Ring lore or anything. I've been too hooked on Bloodborne to even be concerned with Elden Ring right now. I know it's probably, like, on the same, like, scale, because people will go crazy for Elden Ring. I love Elden Ring. And trust me, I mean, I think the game is amazing. I never beat it, but I think it's amazing. I've seen people beat it, and I've seen what people can do in speedruns, which I just find really funny. Come on now. Let me try to get this one. From Software is just a great company. They really give and add a lot of depth to their games. It's something that's rare in this time and age to find. Not just a game, but a game company that cares. What the fuck? I don't know, a little piece came out. I don't know what that's all about. I think it's like stuck in there. Let me clean it a little bit with alcohol. So that's what helped the other one come out. I will be just cleaning the whole thing. But, I find, yep, it really did help though. I find it to be amazing. I really, really do. Bloodborne is like one of my favorite games ever, and I've barely even played it. And you just might be thinking, how the hell? I've watched at least like probably like 40 to 50 hours of lore videos on Bloodborne. And I have like 2 hours max on the game. I can't see if there is something in there or not. No, I don't think so. Just have to pry gently. Bloodborne is impeccable, and I've been obsessed with it for about a month now. I just keep watching videos. I watch Dark Souls lore videos to go to sleep. There's this one specific YouTube video that is just like, oh, lore to go to sleep to, and I put that on, and I put that on, and I actually go to sleep because I'm genuinely interested in what is being said. But I feel so comfortable in the lore because I've watched so much that it's okay if I end up missing a little bit. So it's like I'm not too scared to miss anything, which I think is great. One thing I wanted to talk about was how much I love Lady Maria as a character, and it's not just because it's Pride Month. But happy Pride everyone, let's go. Love being a homosexual. It is one of the most freeing things ever. And yes, there are a lot of haters in the world, but it makes me so happy to... This is gonna sound really bad, but I'm really happy to not be attracted to men. I'm not saying, it's natural selection or whatever, but I'm saying I can actually have a brain and use it, and I don't have to submit in any way. And there are powerful women who submit, but there's also the sad part where there are other women. Okay, those powerful women, they do not submit, actually, because if you want to do something, that's not, anyone forcing you to. So, gender norms and gender roles. Like, just because I grew up as a, just because I grew up AFAB doesn't mean that because I like to clean for my girlfriend now that I'm still following gender norms. No, I just have anxiety about things not being clean. So, if we're just like breaking this apart a little bit, basically, it's the sense that just because someone is a certain gender and they are doing something doesn't mean that it pertains to their gender as a whole. It pertains more to them as a person than anything else, because society loves to gender everything. Even boats are she, her, and it's just because of the beauty, I guess, that a man, in a sense, cannot be beautiful. It's just this, like, old-timey thinking of why do I have to be a certain gender in order to experience something else? Why do I have to be a woman to be beautiful? I'm sure there are plenty of men who have felt that way, kind of ostracized from the rest of their gender because they're not masculine enough. I know I grew up not ostracized, but I always felt like I was really different because I was never feminine enough. I was never womanly enough. And the moment I forced myself to be that person, I realized how unhappy it made me. Is there? Oh my god. No fucking way. It was like, no wonder. God damn you, little screw. Okay. Just gonna put this over here. Okay, well that came off surprisingly easily. So, oh, everything's good, don't worry. Don't worry about that. I'm just gonna give this a good little scrub down a little bit. It's crazy how much gender can just change people's perception, because if I were a man and I did certain things, I would be hailed and, what's the word I'm looking for? I would be admired even, but if it were a woman doing certain things, then it's a, like, completely different connotation. And me, I try to stay outside of the gender, binary, but people love to force me into it, because they don't seem to understand a life outside of gender, which is really sad, because there's a lot more to life than just being one gender or the other. It's like about being a real person end of the day and doing what feels most comfortable to you. At least that's what life means to me. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else's experience, but that is mine. And I feel really proud to be a part of something that is greater than myself. And I really, really love, what's number 3? I'll leave that in there. Actually, I don't think I can. Okay, let me just, there we go. Cartridge. Okay. So, Lady Maria is just like the embodiment of that idea. She is an amazing, amazing character, and you only find out about her in the DLC. Like, you actually find her, and you spend like this whole game with a doll that takes care of you, and cares for you and helps you to grow and learn more and become the best hunter that you can be. All the while, this doll is a splitting image of Maria, someone who died long ago, apparently. I don't understand the concept of death in Bloodborne, because death is never final. Death is its own glorious, glorious thing. Death can be real, and it can be fake, and it can be beautiful, and it can be terrifying, and it's really just about how you look at it yourself. Because we can see the death that we go through as a player doing the hunt as something that is glorious and wonderful, because we get to be reborn. But for others, there is a pain worse than death. And it's really interesting because these nightmares kind of serve as an example of that. But then there's also a kind of romanticizing of death in this game, in the sense that there are so many people you end up finding that are suffering, and that really okay, this is so dirty. I don't like it. They're suffering, and if only they could have their suffering be terminated, to be over, they would do anything for it because they're still alive. And me, as being a depressed person of 25, really understood that sentiment. I really understand that feeling of, oh my god, I just want the pain to stop. But they're stuck in this nightmare of just trying to be someone else, just trying to be a better person, just trying to accept their circumstances. There are those that fully accept their circumstances and fully accept what they've come to be. They understand who they are. They understand what they're here for, their purpose, what they're capable of. And it's great for them, good for them, good for them. But others are not so lucky and not as happy, being stuck in this eternal nightmare, this never-ending night. Gehrman is one of those people. Gehrman is someone that committed atrocities. He was the first hunter, someone that made a deal with the pale blood moon. Someone who was able to escape the hunter's nightmare just to be put in another. A sort of never-ending torment until you're able to put him down as a character, once you kill him. What is it about Maria and Gehrman that separate them? Gehrman is not just a guy, but he is a man that has succumbed to his desires, if you will. It's really not a pretty sight knowing that Gehrman was so obsessed with Lady Maria that he ended up deciding it would be best to, after her death, because she killed herself, it would be best to simply make a deal with the devil in order to bring her back to life. It's just something I can't fully get behind. You know what I mean? I can't really get behind that there, Gehrman. I would really love to understand you and where you're coming from, but I don't think I agree fully with that that their ideal, that their statement, because he wasn't even happy. He gave up all that just to be unhappy. Can you fucking imagine giving up your life for this woman you are pining over who is so much younger than you, to a point where she thinks of you as a father figure of sorts, and you think of her as an object, because that is what he turns Maria into, an object for his desires. And something I find really, really interesting is the sense that Maria is not the only one being objectified in this situation. No, no. Far from it. She was just the first. The latest person being objectified is none other than you, the player. Someone fit to finish Gehrman's quest. Someone who is one of the last hopes he has left. And we can see that this despair that he's fallen into is something that is really hard for him to cope with, considering he is seen crying in the game. You can get a certain cutscene where Gehrman is just kind of crying, and he's wondering why me, Willem, yeah, it seems like it was just dirty, but whatever. Willem, Lawrence, please help me, allow me to escape this never-ending nightmare. And he's been stuck here for so long, helping hunters one after the next to try to fulfill the mission. And one after the other, they fail him every single time. The only one who really kind of succeeded was Gehrman, which was why he was probably picked as, or seen as fit to be the person who helps these other hunters. It's the fact that he was one of them, and he actually was able to, I guess I would say destroy a great one, but not in the way you do it. The only word that comes to mind with all this is, it's said that cause, some say cosm. I love that fucking trope. The way people use that fucking line every time they talk about cause. It is so hilarious, and I love it so much, because it's just like, you're a part of something. You're not the only one to experience it, and it's great when it happens. So, cause, some would say cosm, our good old boy Mikolash would say so. Kaz is forever angry at the sense that her child, not just her child, but it's the fact that her body was violated after death, and it wasn't, her body was violated after death, and it wasn't respected at all. And the fact that her unborn child was treated so poorly really upset her. And it's understandable. As a mother, any woman would feel that way. And the sense that Kaz was actually able to send these people to live an eternal nightmare for putting her and her child through it, like literally through the freaking ringer, is, I feel like a lot of people would love the power to be able to do something like that after something happens to their child. I think it's a human instinct, honestly. And in the sense that, hold on. And in the same sense that Kaz is a mother and a woman, Kaz is also a great god. Kaz is a great one. Kaz is powerful. Kaz had the entire fishing village just worshipping them. Something a lot of people would kill for, I'd say. And boy did they. And boy did they. I find the idea of, what is it called? The comparison of Gehrman to Maria to be really, really interesting, because out of everyone who committed atrocities in the fishing village, Maria was the only one that at least tried to atone for her sins during life, and yet she's still stuck in the nightmare just like all the rest. And it just comes to show, like, even if you do atone for your sins afterwards, the damage is still done. Like, once you do something like that, you take away a life, there is no going back. And she had to suffer the consequences just like everyone else. It didn't make her special, and it didn't make her a great person, to be a sort of martyr for these people, but she is not a martyr. She is only human. And it shows anyone can make a mistake. It's what you do after that changes things. Okay, you made a mistake. Now what? What are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? What should you do about it?